What's the one piece of advice that you would share with the audience? Let's start with you, Zach.
From my perspective, I think that it's not one group or one person's responsibility for innovation. I think it's everybody's opportunity. And I also think it's not, there's no one silver bullet when it comes to innovation, is that you have to have many foundational elements and paths. You know, we talked earlier that all of our companies are designed around solving or designed around product lines or solving yesterday's problems. And most of the opportunities don't exist within those natural silos. The opportunities exist across the horizontal line. And so our job as leaders is to find ways to let those glimmers of opportunity emerge and foster them and let them come to the top. And it's not a one group, group off to the side. I think maybe that's where you may want to bring in Karen to help think about that from a perspective, a corporate perspective. How do we operationalize this and not make it a one-off thing?
Yeah, from my perspective, it's really two things. Number one, it's got to come from the top. If the leader isn't driving it down, the organization's not going to believe that you're serious about innovation. And then number two, as you bring in people who are really creative and good at innovation, and to your point, work on cross-functional teams really effectively, you have to protect them. You have to give them the time to be successful, because it's not as rapid a payback as some of the other activities inside the business, but ultimately, it's a more sustaining payback.
I agree with both of those, in addition to just having the whole cultural idea of think big. It's got to be throughout the organization. And I love the concept of the Shark Tank. Really create an environment where people can bring ideas and take them seriously, because you don't want intellectual capital walking out of your corporation. You want to embrace it and make sure, again, that they have this forum to bring ideas, that someone's really looking at those ideas and taking them seriously, no matter if it's an innovation from an automobile to a drink product to a chip. I mean, if someone has a good idea, you want to be able to listen to it and think about it, you know, seriously.
I'll build on all of that and just say that from my perspective, it's all about encouraging risk-taking. You do not get to be 100 years old by failing a lot. You get to be 100 years old by doing things really, really well. And so if you can take a company and encourage your team at all levels to take risks. So I actually went as far as passing out to my entire team, 1,800 people across the firm, get out of jail free cards to encourage risk-taking. I said, go try something, go do something, take this card, and if you fail miserably, if you get the firm in trouble, bring me this card. I've had several people come in and ask me for 5 or 10 more of those cards. So I'm a little worried about that. But we also have the combustion chamber, which, much like what these guys have already talked about, is this idea of the Shark Tank. People are afraid to put their ideas forward in a large firm because they're afraid they're going to be ridiculed for it. We've put together the combustion chamber and the garage, an idea that they can bring their ideas forward and they can play around with them in public with the executives in the firm and see if there's a reality to it. So encourage risk-taking.
And get out of jail free cards.
Yeah. Works too.
Use the cloud, it's cheap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It may be worthwhile to have a little asterisk on the bottom that says, don't break laws of physics, don't break laws of the country. But other than that, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. That's part of the employment agreement, so they're okay with that.
Well, thank you, everybody. Please join me in thanking the panelists for some ideas.